Let me show you how you can actually create your first beat in FL Studio as a beginner, and we're going to do this right after the intro. Yo, the name is Godsa once again, and still the solution carrier, providing solutions to your problems. Hit the subscribe button if you are new to this channel, turn on the notification bell, give the video a like, leave a comment. I subscribed. Guys, you are in FL Studio now, and the very first thing I'm going to do is to grab the loop that I'm going to use for this beat. All right, for the sake of this video, I'm going to use this loop. So we're going to drag it over here like this. As you can see, it is not actually filling this bar. All right, so if you're a beginner and you are using loop, what you have to do is to listen to the loop and make sure it loops perfectly. All right, so what I'm going to do is to listen to it, and we're going to chop it the way that we want. So the very first thing I'm going to do is to change it from padding to song, and let's listen. You can actually on the metronome so that it will time for you. Alright, so you can see that when we get to this side, it repeats itself. So what I'm gonna do, change this one to beat. Alright, go to the snap 2 grade and change it to beat. Then you can actually chop here. I'm gonna chop this section, then delay this one. Now let's listen to it without a metronome. You can see it is perfect now, but you have to fill this bar. What you're gonna do is to double click on this one. Then I want you to stretch the time. Whilst I'm doing this, I want you to watch the loop. All right, so we're gonna stretch it to fill 8 bars like this. Now it's gonna sound a little bit off and also make it slow, but you'll fix that later in the video. So now let's listen to it. You can see it's now boring. The next thing I'm going to do is to head over to tools. All right, then I want you to go to Macros. Then from Macros, go to switch or audio clip 2, then go to red time stretching. All right, then the next thing we're going to do is to increase the tempo. So let's increase the tempo. I'm going to on the metronome. But now I'm going to use 155 BPM. Then I'm going to off the metronome. So now this is our loop. Next thing I'm going to do is to route this to the mixer track 1, then go to the mixer. Then we're gonna EQ it, cut off some of the low ends. Let me use parametric EQ 2. Delay this one. Subscribe to the channel if you are new here. Now we're gonna chop most of the high ends, but if you're a beginner, just head over to presets, then select this option. All right, it will automatically chop the low end for you. Now let's play as we. You can see the difference. If you want to know much about EQ, I have a full video. The link will be in the description box. Go and watch that. So what I did was that I cut off some of the low ends and also cut off some of the high ends. All right, next thing I'm going to do is to add reverb, pretty reverb 2, and I'm going to increase the room size. Then let's play with the weight. Cut off some of the high ends. Alright, so now that we've got this one, let's start adding the drums. Alright, so the very first thing I'm going to do is to create pattern 1. Place it here. Now, it's super simple. I'm going to use this snare. Always select the right samples, okay? Let me use this one. Then, for normal beat, you skip the first one, the second, then the third, alright? We're going to do the same thing. Imagine this is the first, we skip this one, we skip this one, we skip this one, then we place it here, then we delay this one, alright? Then let's go to piano roll. Highlight everything by holding Control, then using the mouse to drag it, then Control V. Alright, so now we've created 4 bars. This is bar, this is bar 1, bar 2, bar 3, bar 4 if we're a beginner. Now let's listen to this loop together with the snare, and we're gonna fill these bars too, like this. You feel it? Alright, let's add more drums. So I'm gonna use this one. Then let's go to piano roll. Alright, so for you to see this ghost note, if you're a beginner, I would advise you to always make sure you can see the ghost note. Alright, so what you can actually do if yours is not showing, just head over to the piano roll option, then go to view. Alright, then I want you to check this one, ghost channels. Alright, enable ghost channels. So you, as you can see, now it is gone. So let's do that again, views, then enable ghost channels. Alright, so that we can actually see the notes. Now let's play with it. Always be creative, that's all. Alright, then I'm gonna do something different here. Simplicity is the best when it comes to beat making. Always make sure your samples are not fighting with each other. Let's see something here. Let's do chop here. Highlight this one, then hit Ctrl plus U. Alright, you feel it? Just be creative, that's all. Then alright, so what we're gonna do is to play with the velocities here. So this one goes up and this one comes down like this. You feel me? Subscribe to the channel if you are new here. Now let's listen. Crazy, man. Now what we're gonna do next is to add more drums, but before you select the drums, make sure you know what exactly you are going for. All right, let's go for some bongos. So we're gonna drag this one here as I've done it. Now let's try and be creative, but if it is not fitting, the best advice that I will tell you is to remove it. Crazy. I'm just gonna maintain this. So all that I'm gonna do is to highlight, Control V. Oh, now highlight, Control plus B to duplicate. All right. Hey, crazy, man. Next thing we're gonna do is to add the hi-hats. All right, so what I'm gonna do is to go for the hi-hats. Make sure the hi-hat is something that is what has a short tail, something like this. All right, so we are going for the crazy vibe. You can actually just fill it 2 steps. You just right click, then fill each 2 steps. Let's listen. Or you can actually just go for 4 steps, depending on the vibe that you are going for, right? But I'm gonna do the 2 steps. Then what I'm gonna do is to go to the piano roll. All right, then next thing I'm gonna do is to play with the notes. I'm gonna make double chops. Let's change this one to half steps. I'm gonna go for this ta 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 ta. You feel the vibe? Let's see something here. Like this. Alright, so just be creative. Beat making is all about creativity. So this actually for beginners. Let's change this one. Oh, sorry. 1/4. Highlight this one, then hit Ctrl plus U. Alright. Then let's listen. Then let's play with this one too here. We delete this one, then extend this one. Sorry, 1/4. Then highlight this one, Ctrl plus U. Now let's listen. Vibe, 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 vibe. Now what you're gonna do is to highlight this one and delete them. Alright, now the next thing we're gonna do is to play with the velocity. Always play with the velocity. Make sure your velocity, they are not the same. I mean, change the swing. Alright, change the vibe of the hi-hat. You can actually do whatever you want. Now what I'm going to do next is to highlight this one, then Ctrl plus B to fill the other bars. Crazy. Now you can actually add your cake if you're a beginner. Subscribe to the channel if you are new here. Make sure your cake is punching. I mean, let's go for this cake. I'm gonna use this one and go to the piano roll option. As I said, always make sure you can see the ghost notes. Anyway, subscribe to the channel if you are new here. Let's change this to step. Add the beat. Now let's add the kick. Then I'm gonna increase the velocity of the kick all the way up. Just be creative. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Now I'm gonna keep everything simple like this. Then what we're gonna do, highlight Ctrl plus B. Then over here we're gonna do more chops. All right, so let's place it here. Then we're gonna change this one to after B. Then we're gonna hit Ctrl plus U, and let's listen. No, I don't want this vibe. Now let's do another one. Highlight this one, go to half, then change this one. Let's see. Crazy, man. Then let's play with the velocity here, like this. Subscribe to the channel if you are new here. If this video is helping you, give it a like, leave a comment, let me know what you actually want me to do for you in the next coming video. If